Hello, how are you doing?
I'm doing great today. How are you, Jessie?
I'm doing great. Hey, everyone. My name is Jessie Bowen, and waiting for some of my friends to check in. We have some exciting things happening. We're kicking off a new year. I've got Kelly Bonell, and she's a coach, and she has some great things going on. I thought this would be a great time for us to really to get focused. We've been focused on the Martial Arts Masters and Pioneers book. We've been working on with Grandmaster Chuck Norris. We have uh, a lot of things have been going on this past year, but they've all been good. We had the pandemic. We were able to move past that to think about new and different ways to be innovative, making things happen. We had a problem. We worked through the problem. We created new and different ways. And some of the things I want to do in 2021 is not do all the heavy lifting myself, is by partnering with business coaches, with life coaches, this group of people that have a unique skill set that we can use to become better in the martial arts and life. Again, this program is not just about martial arts. It's called The Power to Live Your Vision. So this program is a new program I started last year. So it's anyone that we can give a message to be able to help them. So we wanted to talk about habits, because habits are the things that we do. Some are very bad habits. I know I've got a lot of bad habits myself. They won't get me in trouble. They probably just won't keep me productive. So I'm trying to work on some habits that's going to help me to stay productive. So Kelly, welcome, welcome, and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm really happy to be here and talk a little bit about habits and how they can really propel you into the future you want.
Well, I know you've been in coaching now for a while, and you have clients that you're working with. And as a coach, you always want to help your clients to be better. I know for myself as a martial artist and as a business owner, I no longer own a martial arts school, but I did that for 38 years. And now I own a publishing company. So, but the work is still the same. And I also own or the director of the American Martial Arts Alliance. So we still have to look at the goals. We still have to look at the future. We still have to continue to move forward if we're going to thrive in this new economy. Yeah. So before we get started, let's talk a little bit about you. I met you a few weeks ago online.
Yes.
We were on a conference out in California, and you're in Pennsylvania, am I correct?
No, I'm originally from Pennsylvania, but I'm in the greater New York City area right now.
Okay, you're in New York. Okay, so we're all over the country, but people are coming together because of the online resources and the way that we can communicate together. So that's really, really big. But let's talk a little bit about you. Give us some background on you and what you do. You've got a new program that's coming up. And I really believe, I know for myself, it was very intriguing to hear about it because, when you become overwhelmed, you tend to procrastinate, and that's a bad habit. You really don't want that habit, and it's really because you're really overwhelmed and you decide to do the easiest things first, and the things that need to be done, they get put off, and it gets you in a lot of trouble. So Kelly, let's start off by talking a little bit about you.
Yeah, sure. So as you know, my name's Kelly. I am originally from Pennsylvania, but I'm now in the greater New York City area. And I love being a life coach, a mindset coach. And I really love empowering my clients to see that they are resilient and they really can get through anything they're going through. And they have all the tools that they need inside of themselves. And habits are actually a really great way to cultivate and sharpen those tools that we have inside of ourselves. There's this really great quote called by Aristotle. It's we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. And I really try to instill that not only in my life, but in the life of my clients. And habits really came into my life in a very, very, in a very integral way. I would say about 2 years ago, I was having some lows in life, and I knew that something had to change. So I started my entry habit was journaling. Journaling, just very simple. It's something called the 5-minute journal, and then that steamrolled into meditation, and then I kept learning and learning and learning, and it really, when you compound habits and you do a little bit of what's called habit stacking, you can really give yourself an opportunity for exponential growth towards your goals and towards who you want to be.
So what is the symbolic relationship between goals and habit?
Yeah, it's a very symbiotic relationship, right? So habits are these things that we can rely on, and over time they become these really beaten down paths that are really easy for us to go down. And habits are the path that you take towards your goals, right? I mean, everybody understands the basics of exercise, even if you're not an exercise, guru. But, you can't set a goal that, oh, I want to lose 50 pounds and that's it. You have to go to the gym day after day to lose that weight, or change what you're eating bite by bite, step by step, right? So that's really the relationship there. And it goes back to that quote, we are what we repeatedly do, right? So if you're repeatedly doing or having bad habits, that's going to really shape who and how you will be. But if you say that's not who I want to be, and you bring in these healthy habits into your life and your lifestyle and routines that allow you and set you up for success, then that's who you will be. And the beauty is that you could really shape who you want to be through your habits.
So as we talk about who we want to be, there's a lot of things that go into making us as a person. And some of those things is the way we think, what we see in our mind, whether it's true or it's not true. But we have a power, and this is power to live your vision, is to understand how we think, how we feel, what we do, gives us that opportunity to make a difference. So we can make a difference if we understand ourselves. Yeah. So I want to sort of talk for a moment about that inner part that makes up our mind. Who we are as a person is a gathering of our life, the people that we're around, our associations, our belief systems. All of those things go into an automatic process. And this is that automatic computer. And when this computer kicks on, it's on an automatic phase unless I say, well, I control what I think. I don't have to think bad thoughts. I have that control to take control of the computer, my outcome. But I have to have more vision, more images in. Now, I'm from a very small town in Eastern North Carolina. I've just moved back. And I realized in moving back is really about the thinking of the people, where in the larger city, you always see something developing. You always see something going on. You always see people changing. You always see people doing. In the smaller towns, you don't see that. Everything tends to stay the same. So getting people to understand that I can change that because I can do online classes. I can read motivational books. I can find a success hero. I can do all of those things to bring into my life that I want to be, do, and have. So that's an important part of who we are, because once we understand that we have the ability to take control, the pandemic and everything that's going on, that has an empowerment over our life and it has a control. But we're unable to move or cure or take care of some of those things. So we have to learn to work within a structure in order to continue to be able to build. So in a success habit, so what is something that you can maybe give our listeners something of if I want to be successful, and what do I need to evaluate about myself? Because if I'm not comparing my results to someone else and I'm just looking at what I'm ending up with, how do I know if I'm going in the right direction? How do I expand my mind? What do I need to do to number one, I guess it's to realize that there's a better life, and then change and begin doing better habits. So what's some intel on that?
Yes, absolutely. So I loved what you're talking about, just knowing that we have the choice to think our own thoughts and, kind of create our life by design, regardless of the circumstances that we're in. So that's what I would call the tool I would call was any type of habit or routine that brings awareness into your life, self-awareness. So these are the habits like meditation, journaling, visualization, affirmations, anything that raises your level of awareness and understanding of yourself, why you do what you do, and seeing how your thoughts ultimately will create your results, because your thoughts will show you, will dictate what you feel, and then that will dictate your actions. A lot of times we react on emotion, and then when you have those emotions, those create your results. So the circumstances in any situation are neutral. Where you have the power, and there's this really beautiful Viktor Frankl quote from, that's the author that wrote Man's Search for Meaning, and I'm not going to get the quote exactly correct. However, he says, our greatest freedom as a human being is the moment in time between when the circumstance happens and you have a choice to react or respond to it. And that freedom in between there, that's where we get to control what thoughts we want to have, what thoughts we don't want to have, and how we want our circumstances to affect our results.
Well, I know with your program, let's talk a little bit about that, your challenge. And let's talk a little bit. Tell me a little bit about that. What is that? What is this? What's the name of it? And some details.
Yeah, absolutely. So it is Healthy Habits for 2021 Success, and it's a 21-day guided journey, and it's only 21 minutes a day. So that actually equates out to, if you add up all the math and everything, to a little over 7 hours. But why I've spread it out over 21 days is so you can implement the different things that we're talking about day after day. So the course will consist of 3 modules, the first being an assessment. So going in and figuring out what are your current habits, good and bad, and then what are your goals for 2020? What do you want to achieve? And I'm really going to ask people to really be bold with what they want, because they can achieve it. Then we'll go into an exploration and alignment phase, where we'll explore different types of habits, different kinds of routines, different techniques, different things like that. And I have 6 different featured speakers coming in. And then right at the end, the third module will be to take action, right? So to take your goals, align them, take your habits, align them with your goals, and then make a plan of action that you can stick to. And what I really want to drive home with all of the participants is what we're valuing here is progress over perfection. Because I see this in myself, and I see this in a lot of my clients. If they can't get it perfectly right, they just, oh, screw it, I don't want to do it at all. What I want to challenge people to do is say, okay, you screwed up. Why did I screw up? Let me bring that awareness in, and you know what? I'm still going to do it tomorrow. So that's a little bit about the program. And the one really great thing is once you gain access, it's $21 to have full access. Because it is 21 days, I know that there's going to be a time when somebody won't be able to make it. All of the sessions will be streamed live to the Facebook group that everyone will be a part of. And the weekends, the challenge is only via email. So those are a little bit more reflection based, the weekend challenges. But ultimately, I want people to see how much they can accomplish in just 3 weeks. So imagine what you can accomplish over an entire year if you stick to it, just 21 minutes a day.
Wow. Well, that's interesting. I'm going to join your class. I'm going to join the
Wonderful.
class because, really, you know, I have about 50 million things that I do. And because I do all of those things, I know I pick up bad habits. I'm always about learning and really trying to move my own life on. I've got a course I'm working on finishing up before January the 1st, but I'm always looking at learning. And this is what we have to do. We have to be open-minded and learning. If you're a business owner, you have to be open-minded and learning. And you have to connect yourself with those people around you that are doing the same thing. I love to use the phrase, if you want to know how a person is doing, check their 5 closest friends.
Yes.
So being in a challenge group, I love challenge group. I'm a competitor. If you want to do something, I will be your best student. I challenge anyone else in there. I'm going to do more, be more, but that's what we're talking about, is the excitement of being challenged. What is the challenge you're dealing with this year? If your challenge is, well, my business has closed, that is a challenge, but that's behind you. That is behind you. That's in your rear view mirror. That's the smallest focus you have to have. What you have to be looking at is what is in front of me and how will my life be better in front of me. And this is the reason why you have to think outside of the box. When you begin to think outside of the box, it's like writing a book. I tell people that anyone can be an author. Everyone has a story. And when your story can benefit someone else, then you become a successful author. So as you're looking in front, this is a great book. How will I move forward in 2021? One of the books we're releasing this year is Emerging Leadership. And emerging leadership is really talking about those people that moved through the pandemic. We're in a no-touch environment. Martial arts is about physical skills of touching. Well, how did you innovate yourself? What did you create? What new method of teaching did you create? And that method is effective and people want it. So how did you do that? So that's some of the things that we're working on doing, is really creating a method in this environment that you can brand, that you can market, that someone else wants. So you keep everything moving when you continually to build value. And everyone is very valuable. If you're a martial arts instructor and you're a great teacher, then you will probably be a great coach. If you're a great teacher, you're probably a great motivational speaker. If you say, well, I don't want to do this online stuff. Well, I understand that, but what are your goals? What is it you want to do? How's your family being impacted? What do you want to do? Do you want to think outside the box? Do you want to challenge yourself and to learn new things? That's the reason why, our course on visualization, for you to understand that you can create it in your mind, you can achieve it. Everything around you, from this mouse was a thought in someone's mind. This ink pen was a thought in someone's mind. All these things were someone else's thought that we now bring it into a vision, and you see it, you create it in your mind, and then you begin those steps of now making it happen. So that's what we want to do. We want to be able to create these things in our mind and to bring these things here into a sense of reality. So tell us a little bit about the speakers that's going to be on your program.
Yes. Oh, I'm so excited about my speakers. I've got some really great ones. I have 6 different speakers coming in. One of the first speakers, her name is Samara Theodore. She's a meteorologist for NBC in Washington, D.C. And she's going to be speaking about boundaries. She has a large following, and she has really had to enforce very strict boundaries in her life to live a peaceful life. So she's had to deal with boundaries on a very extreme level, but boundaries are so important for maintaining a healthy lifestyle. And a lot of times when we're in groups that are going to be joining a Healthy Habits Challenge, they're high achievers, they're highly motivated, and they want to a lot of times give and make themselves available, but knowing how to set boundaries is very important. So she's going to be speaking about that. Then we have, her name is Raditya, and she is a mindfulness and meditation expert. And she's going to be talking about how to bring mindfulness into everyday routines and activities, and how to make meditation so are not as experienced with it. Then we have Carl Scott, who is an author and has his master's degree in counseling psychology, and he is all about positive mindset, and he is a great motivational speaker. He also has a TED Talk that he's put out. Let's see, next we have Rolando, and he's going to just be talking about the basics of exercise and how to incorporate movement and body activity into your life and why that's so important. Then we have Nicole Stacy, who is an incredible Brooklyn-based artist. And she is also, beyond just being an artist, she is a full-time teacher in the New York public school system, and her job is very demanding. But she's going to talk about how she's actually structured creativity into her routine as an artist. And a lot of us think that like creativity or inspiration or something like that cannot be something that you can schedule or put a routine to, but she's really developed a very unique way to do it, and she's going to share it with all of our participants. And then lastly, we have Angela Iyer. She is coming from the corporate, New York corporate world, and which is very high stakes, yet she has developed these incredible routines, systems, and innovating ways to create systems for herself and her employees where they're able to accomplish a lot with a lower amount of stress. So those are the speakers that are coming in. We have a couple others that may make appearances, but those are the main ones, and I'm so excited to have them all.
Well, that's great. It sounds like you've covered pretty much all the key bases that go into the formula of success. One of the things that you said, as we come to the end of our program here, I just want to touch on is mindfulness, and what is mindfulness, and also, meditation in general. The first thing we want to say that everyone meditates, whether you know it or not. Before you can even go to sleep at night, you have to go into a meditative state, and you have to relax yourself to the point that your brain frequency drops. So when we think about meditation and think about the science of it, is that we have our mind vibrates so many times per second as our heart would beat so many times per minute. And the higher this elevation is, that's the reason you forget your keys, because your brainwave frequency has raised and there's so many things going on. So when you practice mindfulness or you practice dynamic meditation, you're really learning how to communicate with yourself, your inner self. You're able to slow things down and be able to hear the inner conscious mind of having that communication. I think of that a lot of times as a spiritual link to God, that when you're in this state, you can now hear, you can reason, all these happen, but you go through it every day. You have visions every day. You have thoughts. Scientists say we have between 50 to 70,000 thoughts per day. That's a lot of thinking. The question is, what are you thinking?
Right, exactly.
So what are you thinking? So that's what we're trying to get around and starting off this new year, is to say there's a lot of things that you do, getting to know yourself in 2021, getting to know yourself in 2021, because we're in a pandemic, but this is a growth opportunity. If we look at the bad and the negative, nothing will ever happen. But when we continue to move forward, we see all the positive things. We see all the creative things. If something doesn't work this way, you have that chance to change it. Your ideas, your thoughts, they matter. In your martial arts business, becoming creative, teaching this, becoming certified in these other classes, whether it's a life coach, a mindfulness coach, being able to learn about yourself, how you work. And this is what we really want to bring to you in 2021 through our podcast and our online show, The Power to Live Your Vision. So we want to help you. I'm a certified life coach. Kelly's a coach. I'm teaming with coaches, and that we can do things together to bring the information that will support your need. Right now is a critical time. It's a critical time, but it's also an opportune time for you to be able to empower your life and to be able to grow forward in that direction of your business, of your relationships, of your prosperity, of your wealth. This is some of the greatest times to be able to do that. And we want to support you. What's your website, Kelly?
Great. It is youwillrise.co. And then if you want to check out the Healthy Habits Challenge, you can either scan this QR code right here, or you can go to youwillrise.co/healthy habits and find all the information there.
Well, this is great. And again, I appreciate you coming in today. And we've been discussing some things, that possibilities for us to be able to do in working relationships and building some things and creating some things. And, you really have to look for people around you. You have to form teams. If you're trying to figure something out and maybe you just don't have that information to figure it out, well, get a coach. Find someone that can connect with you, that can brainstorm with you, can bounce things off of, and find out how you can become better.
Right.
Well, if you want to reach me, you can reach me by going to who's who in the martial arts.com. That's our association website. If you would like to have coaching, you can go to coachjessiebowen.com. That's www.coachjessiebowen.com. We have a publishing company, and this year we're looking to find those individuals with the stories that you want to get out. We want to support you through helping you, whether it's promoting your bio. Who are the people we're looking for? We're looking for Christian authors. We're looking for people that want to share their bios or their life stories. We're looking for motivational coaches that would like to use our resources to be able to get them out there. So give us a call. We are here. We want to help you enhance the power to live your vision. Any last words, Kelly?
I would love to see anybody join us. It's $21. It's a great investment. And my aim is to offer 10 times the value of what you pay. And it's a really great way to set yourself up for success. I would love to see you all there. And I'm so grateful to you, Jessie, and your audience for allowing me to come be with you all today.
All right. Well, everyone, be blessed. Remember, set your goals, set your standards, become a part of the American Martial Arts Alliance. We really want to make a difference in the world. Hey, this is Jessie Bowen. Remember, the power to live your vision.